Hey y'all, it's Sania and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I want to talk about what is the best way to detangle coily hair, or what's the best way that I think to detangle my hair. Because the other day I was unraveling some mini braids, right? And we usually use water to get the hair damp to detangle it, and I noticed that when I was using the water, for some reason my hair was tangling a lot, and I had to like cut some of my hair out. It wasn't a lot, but I had to cut some. And then it wasn't until I had like two more plaits left, and I was like, let me try something. Let me try unraveling these twists without these plaits without putting any water on it. Let me try unraveling them dry. And for some reason, when I did unravel them dry, I did not get any knots. And keep in mind, this area of my head was like the middle of the top of my head. I don't know what you call this area, but it was the top of my hair. This spot, it usually tangles a lot. I think because I wasn't taking my vitamins, the ends of my hair was a little bit frayed or whatever, so it usually tangles a lot. And the two plaits that was in that section, I unraveled them without any product or water, and I realized that my hair didn't tangle as much. So it made me wonder, like, are we detangling our hair the right way when we're using water, or should we be detangling with dry hair or maybe damped hair? And then I did a quick Google search, and when I researched it, I actually cannot find the article that I found speaking about whether you should detangle your hair wet or dry. And guys, keep in mind, I'm not saying that you should do this, I'm saying this is what I do. Anyways, but what I remember seeing on that article is that ideally they recommend wet hair, because when the hair is wet, it's a lot more elastic. That means you can detangle it easier, it's less brittle. But the downside to this is that the hair is weaker when it's wet. Even it's more elastic, but it's weaker when it's wet. So that's the downside to detangling your hair when it's wet. And when it wraps around, because naturally if your hair has been in a protective style, your hair is going to wrap around each other. Just to clarify, when I say wrap around each other, I mean the shed hair, it's going to all be bundled up with the hair that is in your scalp. But then when you wet this hair that is already wrapped around each other, the hair actually becomes more elastic. But with that, it's also easier to braid, because I think it makes the hair softer. I really hope this makes sense. And when I say soft, I don't mean as in moisturized softer. I mean like butter soft. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know how your hair feels when it's wet versus when it's dry. Just think about that. That's what I'm trying to explain. I hope that makes sense. So let me try to reiterate that. So when you have a protective style, it's natural for your hair to be tangled, right? You have shed hair mixed in the bunch, right? But then when you wet the hair that was in the protective style to detangle it, what happens is that you wet these hairs that are tangled together. And when your hair is wet, your hair is naturally weaker, so it breaks easier. And it said something about the hair. Hair is made of protein. The hair forms hydrogen bonds with the water. So those are weaker bonds than when the hair is dry. Because when the hair is dry, it forms protein bonds, and those bonds are a lot stronger than the hydrogen bonds that are between the hair and the water, if that makes sense. Because if your hair is dry, there is nothing there to disrupt the protein bonds. Guys, it's a lot of chemistry and stuff, right? But I hope this makes sense. So to sum it up again, when the hair is wet, it's a lot more elastic, but it's also weaker because the hair is forming hydrogen bonds. These bonds are between water and your hair, the protein in your hair. But when your hair is dry now, it can be a lot more brittle because it has the protein bonds, but it's also stronger to detangle because the protein bonds are stronger than hydrogen bonds. So I think with this, I don't want to tell anyone to try dry detangling or damp detangling or whatever, but I do want to say, I just said I don't want to tell you to try, but I do want to say, I'm going to tell you, try it and see how it works. Don't try doing it with your whole head, but I can tell you, I tried the dry detangle on two plaits in the middle of my head, and it was the area that breaks a lot, and it actually, I did not have any breakage at all. I did wash my hairs in the mini braids, so keep in mind that, but my hair was getting dry because, as I said, it was my last plait, so my hair is already halfway dry or three-quarter way dry. So do try it and see if it works for you. But I think I'm gonna start implementing dry detangling to a degree, especially when I have my hair in long-term protective styles. Maybe when I wear my hair out in a wash and go or a, what's it called, twist out braid outs, you know, those loose styles, I'll do the wet detangling. I think I might be trying the dry detangle when it comes to long-term protective styles, because that is very interesting. I did not realize that, but I'm gonna try it. This is how I'm gonna actually try it, because I don't want to just go and try detangling my hair 100% dry. So what I'll do is, I don't think I'm gonna use water. I think I'll just use like my leave-in conditioner and put it on my hair. You know, like when you put lotion on your skin is not wet, you know, but it's not dry. So I think the leave-in can kind of mimic that situation where the hair is not wet, but it's not dry either. I don't know what you will call that, but it's definitely not dry here and it's not wet here. Is it? I think it's moisturized. But yes, I will try detangling it with my hair not wet with water, but instead with products on my hair. Like for example, my leave-in conditioner, or if I'm gonna wash my hair, I might use the flaxseed gel or my what's it called, rinse out conditioner. So that's how I'll do it. So if you're gonna try it, that's what I'll suggest trying, just to be on the safe side, because obviously whether the hair is wet or whether it's dry, you can rip your hair out either way. And I do want to add something, because I know a lot of people are always saying that, oh, the rules in the natural hair community are always changing. They're always changing. That's why I'm not a part of the natural hair community. People, I understand what you're saying, but keep in mind that these aren't rules. These are just things, opinions. For the most part, natural hair isn't really it's not mainstream, so it's not researched as much. So everyone is gonna come with their own little twist of things, and they're gonna come and put it forth as if it's law. It's not law. You do not have to do it. Me telling you that, oh, you know, dry detangle worked on 2 plaits in my head. That's just 2 plaits. That's not a lot of plaits for me to say, oh, concretely do dry detangle because it's better, right? I'm just telling you the little science that I found on it and showing you that, you know, this might be a solution to some things. I don't have enough evidence to support this, right? And even if I do have enough evidence to support this, keep in mind that everyone's hair is different. If one person said that being a straight natural works for them, then it works for them. It doesn't mean that it's gonna work for you. If one person says that being a wash and go girly works for them, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. If one person says it doesn't work, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you. So keep in mind that everything that is said in this community, or everything that I say, is just things that I'm trying, and I just want to say, you know, try it if you want. If your hearing is in a very compromised state, I would say try as much things as you can and see how it goes, because the hair is already damaged, you know. You're gonna probably cut it anyways. But if you think that my hair is damaged but I'm not ready to make that shift to cut it, be careful what you try, because you might have to rush into cutting your hair. But keep in mind that these things are just recommendations. And I don't even want to say recommendations, because when I say recommendations, it makes it seems like they are required, but you can choose not to do them. They are not required. Keep in mind, these things are not required. They are just things that people say, I say, and I am trying, and you can try too. Because today I might say, oh, I'm gonna try the tangle, and then next week I'm like, hell nah, I'm not doing that. So do what works for you. Do not think you need to follow everything that people say. This is a funny thing that just came to me while I'm editing this. Even though you may hear me talking about these articles that I see online and how scientific things may sound, and it may sound like it's the truth, keep in mind that most of these scientific studies aren't even about our hair type. Even though when I researched it, I specifically typed in curly coily hair, it's probably not even talking about type 4 hair. It's probably about type 3 hair. Just be open-minded to listen to what people have to say, because it's good. You can learn things from other people, but don't think that you need to try everything. You don't, you know? So that's just something that's crazy, because most of these, I think I did a few videos talking about articles, and most of them weren't even about coily hair. It's just about straight hair, you know? And the curliest hair type you'll see is waves. And you know, unfortunately, that's just how it is, but whatever. But I'm just saying that to let you know that sometimes these aren't even targeted. These researches aren't even targeted to us with coilier hairs. So you don't have to do everything that I say. It's good to have the scientific background because it's here, but at the same time, we don't really know how coily hair will react in these same conditions. So be open-minded to certain things, and also learn to stand your ground. You don't have to follow everything that people are saying. You're your own person, and you know yourself more than anyone else, even more than the scientists do. But yeah, that's it. That's all that I have for this video. I'm gonna try this dry detangle thing and see how it goes. Then I'll report back to you guys and tell you if I like it or if not, or not.